Planet Earth is far stranger than the world you see every day. Scattered across it are places so bizarre, so utterly alien, that if you saw a photo with no caption, you would swear it was another planet, a movie set, or a fake. But every single one of these places is completely real, and you can stand in them. These are the strangest places on Earth that look like they shouldn't exist. 400 kilometers off the coast of Yemen lies an island that time forgot. Socotra has been cut off from the mainland for over 6 million years, and in that isolation, life took a wildly different path. A third of its plants exist nowhere else on the planet. Strangest of all are the dragon's blood trees, with their bizarre umbrella shapes and branches that look like an upturned forest. Cut one, and it bleeds a deep red sap the locals once believed was the blood of dragons. Walking through Socotra feels less like visiting another country and more like stepping onto an alien world that evolved entirely on its own. In the north of Ethiopia lies one of the hottest, lowest, and most lethal places on Earth, the Danakil Depression. Here the ground is painted in impossible colors, electric yellows, acid greens, and toxic orange dishes, where volcanic springs bubble up sulfuric acid and salt. Temperatures regularly pass 50 degrees Celsius. The air reeks of chlorine and rotten eggs. Pools of acid hiss and steam beside fields of salt stretching to the horizon. It looks like the surface of a poisoned alien moon. And yet, incredibly, microbes thrive in this hellscape, and scientists study it to imagine what life might look like on other planets. In the deserts of Turkmenistan, there is a hole in the ground that has been on fire for over 50 years. In 1971, a drilling rig collapsed into a vast cavern of natural gas. To stop the gas from spreading, engineers set it alight, expecting it to burn out in a few weeks. It never stopped. More than half a century later, the Darvaza gas crater still blazes, a 70-meter-wide pit of fire roaring in the middle of the empty desert. The locals call it, fittingly, the door to hell. Off the coast of Western Australia sits a lake the color of bubblegum. Lake Hillier is a vivid, permanent pink, not a trick of the light, not an algae bloom that fades. Scoop the water into a glass and it stays pink. Scientists believe the color comes from salt-loving microbes and bacteria that tint the water rose. Surrounded by deep blue ocean and green forest, this candy pink lake looks utterly photoshopped, and it has been that color for as long as anyone can remember. 300 meters beneath a mountain in Mexico lies a chamber that looks like the inside of a giant geode. The Cave of the Crystals holds some of the largest natural crystals ever found. Beams of glittering selenite up to 12 meters long and weighing 50 tons, crisscrossing the cavern like fallen pillars. They grew over hundreds of thousands of years in mineral-rich water. But the cave is deadly. Temperatures hit 58 degrees with near total humidity. Without protection, a human can survive inside for only minutes before their body begins to cook. High in the Bolivian Andes lies the largest salt flat on Earth, and when it rains, it becomes the largest mirror on Earth. Salar de Uyuni stretches over 10,000 square kilometers of blinding white salt. After a rain, a thin layer of water turns the entire surface into a perfect reflection of the sky. The horizon vanishes, clouds appear beneath your feet. People walking across it look like they are floating through the heavens. It is so flat and so reflective that satellites use it to calibrate their instruments from space. And in the frozen heart of Antarctica, a glacier appears to be bleeding. A stream of deep blood-red liquid pours from the pure white ice of the Taylor Glacier, staining it crimson. For over a century, no one could explain it. The answer, when it finally came, was stranger than the mystery. Trapped beneath the glacier is an ancient lake of super salty, iron-rich water, sealed off from the world for nearly 2 million years. When it seeps out and meets the air, the iron rusts and the glacier bleeds. 7 places that look like science fiction, and every single one of them is real. Our planet is so much stranger than it lets on, full of corners that defy what we think we know about the world. So the next time someone says they have seen everything Earth has to offer, show them this: strange, impossible, and entirely real.